Right now, one of the leading labs building artificial intelligence is warning that their own creations are about to cross a dangerous threshold. The company is Anthropic, the team behind the AI assistant Claude, and they are making a highly unusual request, a coordinated global pause on the development of frontier AI models. Traditional software does exactly what you code it to do. Frontier AI is different. These models develop capabilities that even their original programmers cannot predict. The labs building these systems are pushing major updates in a matter of weeks, while governments and regulatory bodies take years to draft basic guidelines. Researchers inside the industry have pointed out a reality. The tech sector has built a massive technological gas pedal, but completely neglected to install a brake. The fear is that once these systems hit a specific capability threshold, humans simply will not have the technical means to intervene. The architects of our technological future are standing up and admitting they are on the verge of losing the ability to steer it. That threshold has a name. It is called recursive self-improvement. It describes a cycle where an AI writes code to generate a slightly smarter version of itself, which then writes code for an even smarter version, over and over. Human engineers take months to iterate software. An AI could theoretically execute thousands of these generations in seconds. That speed could produce treatments for currently terminal diseases, or it could drive a catastrophic, uncontrollable divergence from human interests. Experts no longer view this cycle as a distant thought experiment. It is an active engineering hurdle that developers are clearing right now. Once an AI successfully closes this loop, the role of human direction ceases to be a functional part of the development process. To find evidence that we are approaching this point, we just have to look at Anthropic's own internal data. This stacked bar chart tracks code generation at the company. As of May 2026, 80% of the code integrated into Anthropic systems was written entirely by their own AI, Claude. And as you can see by following the timeline back to 2024, the volume has exploded. Engineers are now pushing 8 times the amount of code they were just 2 years ago. Claude is effectively building the infrastructure required to launch the next, smarter version of Claude. When 4 out of every 5 lines of code are machine-authored, the human software engineer has shifted from the role of a creator to that of a reviewer. But if Anthropic is concerned about this trajectory, their corporate actions tell a very different story. Just months before calling for a global pause, the company quietly dropped the core safety pledges from their own responsible scaling policy, citing intense pressure to keep up with rivals. At the exact same time they were sounding the alarm on human extinction, Anthropic filed for a confidential initial public offering that valued the company at nearly $1 trillion. This exposes a structural trap in the market. Publicly traded companies and venture-backed labs are legally and economically punished if they voluntarily slow down while competitors forge ahead. Market forces are actively overriding internal safety protocols. Voluntary corporate self-regulation is clearly a failed experiment. This corporate arms race operates on the exact same logic that drove the Cold War nuclear standoff. It is a classic game theory trap. No single company or nation will take their foot off the gas because they assume their rival will use the pause to build the ultimate weapon first. So the industry has settled on a bizarre strategy: press the gas pedal to the floor to win the race, while simultaneously begging slow-moving governments to step in and build a brake. Which forces us to ask, is this morning a genuine cry for help regarding an existential threat? Or is it calculated theater by a trillion-dollar monopoly seeking government regulations to lock out new competitors? We are left with a final dilemma. Can we really trust the very corporations accelerating toward the precipice to design the legally enforced brakes?